Well, it's so nice to see you again.
Yes, I know.
We had such a nice lunch the other day. I learned so much about you.
I
know. CES. Well, one of the things that I loved learning about you was just, and we were commenting on this, like, you can't learn enough about somebody, just learn, like, looking at their LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, looking at somebody's resume doesn't tell the whole story. And so when we sat down and talked about, the sort of nonlinear progression of not just your career, but your life, where you've lived.
I know. We went deep. We had
did.
a big, deep conversation.
Well, I want to talk about that. So let's start with where you've lived. Okay. You haven't just lived in the US, you've lived all over, starting with Dubai.
Yeah.
So you went from Dubai. Then where did you go from there?
So I really feel like I'm kind of very much a global citizen. My family's originally from Iran. I was born in Canada.
Okay.
I grew up in Dubai, and then we immigrated to the United States when I was 16. And so I've been in the U.S. for quite some time, but since then have moved to London, to Paris, Singapore, and then within the U.S. as well. I was in San Francisco, and now I'm back in D.C.
Amazing. Amazing. So let's actually pause there for a second. So, I mean, that has to have had something to do with how much you've loved travel and how much that has influenced where you've ended up. You've said that you've been tracking Marriott for a long time, where you're a marketing leader, which we will get to. But let's talk a little bit about what it is that you miss about growing up in Dubai. Do you miss any particular foods, any particular, sort of habits or, rituals, if you will?
Yeah. So, I actually don't know if we had a chance to talk about this, but, so one of the things that inspired travel and now hospitality, because I feel like it's very full circle for me. When I was growing up in Dubai, my mom actually worked in the hospitality industry. She started, in travel and ticketing for airlines, but her main career there was that she was the worldwide sales and reservations manager for Forte Hotels and the Le Méridien. And so I grew up getting to visit all of these amazing hotels around the world with her. And one of my first sort of internship jobs was actually interning for Forte Hotels in their central office in Dubai. And like, as you know, Dubai is such a hub for tourism and travel now. And so I really got that bug pretty early on. And now seeing that, 20 plus years later in my career, I'm now working in hospitality and working for Marriott, one of the world's largest hospitality companies, which owns Le Méridien too.
Yes, exactly. It's so full circle.
Full circle.
Yes.
But in terms of what do I miss from Dubai, I really do. I mean, I know it's changed a lot since I was there, but I really miss the blend of the East and the West that you have. It's such an incredible intersection of cultures. So there's modernity and innovation, but there's beautiful like heritage and tradition. And I mean, you talked about the food.
The food is incredible.
It's amazing.
Yes.
Shawarmas.
I love it.
Still haven't found a good shawarma here.
I don't doubt it. Okay. So you've had a bit of a nonlinear career, which I've loved. It was so fun to hear your story. Mm-hmm. So you started in tech.
Yeah.
And then you were a bit of a change agent as you made your way into fashion. You were really interested in fashion and you parlayed that tech experience into fashion. So what was the first brand that you started with?
Yeah, so I've had a very nonlinear path into my career. And when I first started out, it was really the tech boom, and I was really helping brands transform, retailers transform from a e-commerce and digital standpoint. After about 8 years in that, I actually decided to go to business school, and that's when I had a chance to live in both France and Singapore. I went to business school at INSEAD, and while I was there, I really thought about what would bring me the most joy was to be in the fashion industry and to be in marketing. And making that transition from tech and e-com into, luxury fashion marketing was not an easy one, but even at that juncture, brands were really looking for not only new perspectives and new ways of doing things, but it was really ushering in a new age of customer centricity, being much more data driven, and really leveraging technology to drive insights, to drive emotional connection and further storytelling with customers. So Gucci was the first brand that I worked with after business school, and it was a regional role, so I oversaw their regional marketing for North America, and it was very much focused on, consumer insights, CRM, clienteling, customer experiences, direct-to-consumer marketing, and it was a very exciting time.
That's so cool. So you took that sort of obsession with customer and you applied that to your own obsession with fashion, and so you intersected those things. Yeah. That's so cool. Can you think of an emerging designer that you're really interested in now?
Oh my gosh. I think there's a lot of interesting things happening with the fashion industry, for sure. There's a lot of really great talent coming into I think the space, and there's, places like the CFDA and FGI. I sit on the board of Fashion Group International as well. Okay. And we're always looking for, new talent, and, helping to support them, because the industry is really difficult, I will say. But I will say on a personal level, a new emerging designer, my 7-year-old daughter has the fashion bug and has declared that she's going to be a designer. So I watch out for my She's my new favorite one.
She's got the connect.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. So then how did you parlay all of that learning, all of that incredible sort of experience that you had as you went through fashion? I mean, You've been the CMO at incredible brands, Ralph Lauren. You were the CMO, the CEO actually of Brother Bellies. Mm-hmm. You've been the CMO of Old Navy, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at Ralph, I was VP of Global Marketing.
Okay.
But I was the CMO of Stuart Weitzman.
Okay, right.
And then the CEO of Brother Bellies, and then CMO of Old Navy.
Incredible.
And now I'm, the SVP of Global Marketing for Marriott International, and it's been a really exciting journey. I mean, I feel really honored and privileged to have had such iconic brands and to have been the custodian of such iconic brands that impact so many people's lives, and even more so with a brand like Marriott that, we have over 10,000 properties in 145 countries. We have over 800,000 associates around the world and 260 million members. So the ability to really impact people's lives I just think is such an privilege.
I love that. And I think one of the incredible perspectives that, I really was so fascinated by when we were talking was you had said that the real juxtaposition around fashion versus hospitality is this notion of exclusivity versus inclusivity. Mm-hmm. And, it's so interesting to think about that, because fashion really lives and breathes around exclusivity and making sure that, there's this sort of aspirational aspect to it. Whereas you were saying that, hospitality in particular with Marriott, it's the largest hotel brand in the world. You have so many different brands. You serve so many different customer segments all over the world. Yeah. You can't be exclusive. You have to be inclusive. So how has that changed, or maybe it hasn't changed the way that you market? But just talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting because especially on the luxury side of fashion, or this notion of scarcity and exclusivity really is what drives a lot of just how brands not just market, but connect with consumers. And what I think is interesting with hospitality as an industry is that, first of all, it's an industry that loves people and loves to serve people, right? You have to love that aspect. And so I feel that in the hospitality space, and then as a marketer, where you have really, to me, it feels like an infinite number of things to be able to connect to consumers on. We have over 30 brands. We have destinations around the world, culture, food, music, entertainment, sports, wellness, outdoors. There's so many things that I can not only connect to you, and so many of your passions that I can help bring to life through the incredible range of brands and properties that we have. And so it's like a marketer's dream to be able to have this toolkit and to be able to play for the brands. It definitely means that there's a lot more complexity there. Sure. But I just think that there's just so many colors in my coloring box to be able to, to paint with.
It's a nice palette.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So last question, what is, as the hospitality queen, give us all your best travel hack?
Gosh. Well, first I would say it's being a Bonvoy member.
Okay. Okay. Good one.
Best travel hack. But in terms of packing overall, what I've come to do, because I travel so much now, is that I just, in my suitcase, I literally have my essentials always ready to go. So I never forget anything. I don't forget my toothbrush or my toothpaste.
Got it.
Or whatever I need. I just have a kit that just stays ready to go in my suitcase.
That you never unpack.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Noted.
So
all right,
I've learned my lesson.
Thank you so much. This has been such a pleasure to get to know you.
This is so fun. Thank you so much for the time.